Okay, it's 7 o'clock.
Good evening. I call to order this regular joint meeting of the Minnehaha County and Sioux Falls Planning Commissions. And I will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones have been silenced. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via CityLink and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.gov site for viewing by the general public. The two planning commissions work together on land use and zoning matters within the rural areas surrounding the city. This area is displayed on the screen. When this joint hearing is completed, the joint Sioux Falls and County Commission, Planning Commission will adjourn, and the next regular business meeting will begin to consider items beyond the joint zoning jurisdiction with Sioux Falls. Any final action taken on the conditional use permit applications tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, August 4th, 2025 at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the Joint County Commission and City Council for a hearing on Tuesday, August 26th, 2025 at or after 5 p.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and the joint meetings of the County Commission and Sioux Falls City Council are held at Carnegie Town Hall, 235 West 10th Street. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are perceived to be non-controversial and meet all the requirements of the codes and regulations. The consent agenda will be acted on in one motion with no public hearing on the items unless a member of the public, the commission, or staff requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. Next, I'll read each item on the consent agenda and ask if there are any issues or comments from the Planning Commission or the audience. If any member of the Planning Commission or the audience would like to be heard on the item, please raise your hand, and the item will be removed to the regular agenda to allow you to address the commission later in the meeting. Any items remaining on the consent agenda will be approved by the Planning Commission with the conditions recommended by staff. Item number 1 is the approval of the minutes of the May 19th, 2025 meeting. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 25-40 to exceed 1,600 square feet of accessory building space, requesting 3,760 square feet on the property legally described as Lot 2, Tract 1. There is an exception except H-1 and H-2, end of exception. Southwest quarter, Section 22, Township 102 North, Range 49 West. That is located in Mapleton Township. The petitioner and property owner are John Muckow, located at 6324 North Cliff Avenue. Is there anyone from the Planning Commission, the staff, or the audience wish to address this item?
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes on the county side.
Good evening, City Commissioners. I've got an approved consent agenda on the county side. Can I get a motion to approve on the city side?
Make a motion to approve? Make a motion?
A motion and a second. Any further discussion on the city side tonight? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Consent agenda is passed on the city side.
Thank you. If your item has been approved, you are free to go. We'll move on to the regular agenda. Item number 3, conditional use permit 25-42 to amend CUP 19-33 for a rubble dump, that is a tree grinding operation, on the properties legally described as the north 400 feet, the south 433 feet, east 700 feet, the west 766 feet, southwest quarter, section 14, and the south 445 feet, north 478 feet, east 820 feet, and the west 886 feet. Northwest quarter, section 23, all within Township 102 North, Range 49 West, Mapleton Township. Petitioners Eric Willison, property owners Michael Williams, Living Trust, located 25898 476th Avenue. Kevin?
Good evening. I am Kevin Hookman from the County Planning Department. This item is located north of Sioux Falls along County Highway 125. It is an expansion of an existing site to include a portion of the property to the south. That's why there's two properties here. And the request an expansion is to allow equipment storage on that south property, and the remaining site is to remain the way it is. The current business owner is called Delta Wood Products, is the name of the business. This item became to our attention through a complaint that was received in Minnehaha County staff about the property accepting treated wood waste, which is against what is allowed to be taken in by the petitioner. What is allowed is only clean, untreated wood. Staff worked with the DANR because the DANR also received the same complaint. Both the DANR and staff did site visits of the property. I found when I came for the complaint that there is equipment being stored on the former farmstead of the property to the south. So the combination of the treated wood and the added storage area is why this was received by the county. Currently, the approved CUP includes a condition that states only clean, untreated wood, as I noted, unpainted, unstained wood shall be accepted for processing. No other materials shall be accepted. This letter, the staff did receive a letter from the DANR that explained that glued wood products is a treated wood product, and that has been a point of contention between the petitioner and the state and the county. Glued wood products should not be allowed within wood processing stream with the current set of conditions. However, there is a way that the petitioner can request for the DANR for approval of blended wood products, as it's called, with a beneficial use letter from the DANR. And if he was to go forward with that, he would need an additional change in the solid waste permit through the county. County staff did visit the site again on July 8th, and Val Zaturka, the owner of Delta Wood Products, was there at the meeting. He did explain at the site visit how difficult it is to keep 100% clean wood because he's not able to police the property 100% of the time. And overall, he said that the amount of other wood, like glued wood or stained wood, is very small compared to the rest of the wood. But without the beneficial use letter from the DANR, the petitioner will need to be more strict on materials that are accepted at the facility. The site plan for the property is generally going to remain the same. He has moved back a gate from the property, and I'll kind of go over that in a little bit. And I will note that there are some trees missing along the existing site plan that need to be replaced from the prior permit. All the equipment storage should be located east of the existing shelter belt, and I'll go over that here too. Maybe I'll just go through that right now. So here's the site plan. This is the previous site plan is basically this. Nothing has really changed. You'll see here there's a line of trees. At about here, there are more trees missing than that are growing, so those trees will need to be replaced, and they're spruce trees. They're now probably a few feet high, about 3 feet tall in some places. The new equipment storage is going to be right here in the former farmstead. You can kind of make out here a shelter belt that is existing, and that is going to be a requirement that any storage be kept behind that shelter belt to help screen out that new storage area. So under the conditional use permit criteria, there's 6 criteria to be reviewed for each permit. Largely speaking, throughout these criteria, there's going to be addressing an existing site, which is a small expansion. I will Note under criteria number 1, the effect upon the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the uses already permitted and upon property values in the immediate vicinity. Staff has received a concern from Mapleton Township regarding the land use generated additional traffic along 84th Street, which would be right here at kind of the cross section of where the driveway is located. Then 2, the effect upon the normal and orderly development and improvements of surrounding vacant properties for uses predominant in the area. This permit was originally permitted in 2019. At that time, there was a sunset requirement that would allow the approval to go through 2029. This request has not changed that, so kind of future development will, either the petitioner will have to make changes to the permit and request further time, or future development will probably not be affected in the next 4 years of development time. 3, the utility access roads, drainage, or other necessary facilities are provided. Again, this is an existing site. All utilities and are already there, and drainage is to remain largely the same. The petitioner intends to stay, if he does want to stay a longer time for more than the 4 remaining years. Staff will note that driveway should be hard surfaced to reduce even material from coming out into the road for a longer time frame. Number 4, that off-street parking and loading requirements are met. This site is large enough to accommodate off-street loading. No loading or unloading is allowed in the right-of-way. Number 5, the measures are taken to control offensive odors, fumes, dust, noise, vibration, and lighting, inclusive of light-up signs, and none of these will be a nuisance. With this type of operation, the main concerns of nuisance would be noise and visual sight. The noise is not as loud as what one would expect to see with or hear with such a large operation. But the grinder was operating when I visited the site, and we could have a normal conversation only a few hundred feet away. The visual sight is something that we'll keep track of because we want to get those trees replanted and keep visual on the other side of the existing shelter belt. Number 6, the health, safety, and general welfare of the public in the comprehensive plan. This kind of falls back a little bit more onto that sunset. The proposed wood is an expansion of a wood grinding operation that does have a sunset. That this will likely not create any new significant changes to health, safety, general welfare. The sunset ends January 31st, 2029. The operation currently is permitted to process clean, untreated wood. If the petitioner operator wishes to include the materials such as glued or painted wood, the petitioner will need to submit to the request to the DA&R for a beneficial use letter. If the additional materials is permitted by the DA&R, a new solid waste permit must be obtained by Minnehaha County, so that's part of the process. The conditions have been changed to reflect that requirement, so if he wants to stay where he's at, he can meet these conditions. If he wants to accept those wood products, he would have to get that beneficial use letter from the DA&R. Staff does recommend approval of the conditional use permit 2542 with the conditions as stated, with 10 conditions. Is there any questions?
Any questions for him?
Madam Chair, just one
Go ahead.
question. You mentioned within your CUP criteria concerns about traffic on 84th Street and that we may consider requiring the petitioner to designate a haul route for company trucks. Could you just explain what that would consist of and what a potential route would be that would mitigate the 84th Street issue?
Sure. So I think the township, I think, is here represented, so he can maybe talk a little bit more to it. But we have had, say, like gravel operations have haul routes. We could designate a haul route where anything that's owned by the operator would have to travel, say, the County Highway 125 north and around to stay on county highways to prevent extra traffic on that 84th. It will not, if we do that sort of a haul route requirement, it will not change most of the other trucks that come in from Sioux Falls or other grinding operations that are dumping at the site, because that's something that we would not be able to keep track of.
Sure. Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Okay, anyone else?
Additional question.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Do you anticipate that there's going to be extra truck traffic because he's building a storage building?
No, he's actually not building any storage building. He's just utilizing the open space for storage. I don't think there will be any additional traffic from what is currently happening. The petitioner doesn't expect to expand any from his current site, so he's not accepting any more wood than he would normally on the current site. And I think the owner is here as well, and maybe he can speak to some that he may have different plans in the future from who he accepts as well as part of kind of the management of materials.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Can you explain, is this like a wood recycling treatment center, or is it for raw wood? Like, can you maybe explain some of those details?
And that just reminds me, I have not actually shown any photos. So you'll see kind of what's going on in the operation. He accepts both like wood waste from trees as well as pallets and dry wood, and grinds them up and takes them to, I believe it's Poet that he takes it to as the customer. And you can see here the dry wood pile there, mostly pallets, and you'll see that there are some pallets that are included with the plywood on it. I wish I could have gotten a little more of the grinder there, but you can see the grinder working in the background and spitting out chips from where the trees are located. But yes, that is what they do.
And I'm a little bit unclear, because you had stated that one of the conditions is that he cannot accept any treated wood.
Correct.
But the amount of untreated wood is very minimal.
The amount of treated wood is minimal compared to everything else that he's
okay.
working with.
Okay.
So that's part of what would be applied with that beneficial use, is that the amount is so little that it wouldn't change the overall
Okay.
process of the wood.
And the reason to exclude that is because it's hazardous, it's a fire hazard, like is it an environmental hazard?
Yeah, so the concern is the environmental hazard. This product is going to, if it is going to Poet, it's going to be burned, in which case that incinerator smoke is going to change depending on the chemicals in the product.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else have questions for him? Okay, thank you for now. Is the petitioner here? Will you please step forward and state your name and address?
Evening, Commissioners. Eric Willardson Lund Engineering, 902 South Cleveland in Sioux Falls. We did the original site plan design for Val, and got the permit secured. This is one of, I believe, 3 wood grinding operations that have been set up in the city of Sioux, or outside the city of Sioux Falls, to grind up untreated wood, trees. Most of it's tree debris. There is, a fair amount of untreated wood, and unfortunately, it gets mixed up with some treated wood. Not a lot, but there is some. I guess I would say, from my point of view, grinding that treated wood up and burning it in incinerators at these plants, which are pollution control devices, is actually probably a better way to dispose of it than burying it in a landfill or someone burning it in a bonfire. If we need, and we will, go to the state and work out, like I said, it's a very minimal amount, but there is some there. And Val has agreed, yeah, he will approach DANR and see what we need to do to comply with that treated wood requirement. Again, I think it's actually the best way to dispose of that kind of wood. It doesn't present a problem to pollution from like groundwater or runoff. But nevertheless, we'll comply with whatever DANR wants to do. Val realizes there's some trees missing. He replanted 6 of them last fall. None of them made it. He will do it again. We'll get the screening trees put back in. He has moved the driveway back off. None of his trucks utilize, is it 84th, the gravel road, 284, whatever. His trucks don't use that road, but he can't control the trucks that are bringing materials to dump at his site. And he has put up a sign, no treated wood. It's hard to control, hard to police, but he's doing what he can. Like I said, the site itself won't change. This conditional use is essentially opening up the area, the farmstead that Kevin indicated, so that he can park machinery, vehicles, and turn trucks around in there. Essentially, that's all he's using it for. So that's the expansion. I know Kevin did say that, yeah, we could request extending the sunset date out. If that's something that you can amend the conditional use to actually extend the operation additional 5 years or whatever, we'd like you to do that. If you can't, I guess we'll come back in 4 years and try and get it extended at that point. But again, these 3 sites in Sioux Falls serve an incredible purpose that keep a lot of this type of material out of the landfill. I guess with that, asking Val, he's not aware of any accidents that have occurred due to the increase in traffic. Obviously, this operation that has increased the truck traffic to this site. But with that, I guess if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Val would, he would prefer not to, but if anything I can answer, I certainly would.
Any questions for him? Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, Eric. Just wondering, does your client anticipate any increased traffic from what he currently has?
I
Was my
don't think
question
so,
earlier.
no. It's pretty much the steady stream. It's not an expansion of the existing operation. It's just that he's using an area to store vehicles and turn trucks around that's not included in the area of the conditional use. And that's kind of what we're trying to add. So no, it's a steady business. He's doing pretty good. It's worked out really well for him. And he'd just like to continue, but he needs this additional area to park vehicles and turn trucks around.
Anyone else have a question for him? Okay, not at this time.
Thanks for your time.
Anyone from the audience wish to address this item? Please state your name and address.
Good evening, Don Oschlager, 6705 North 10th Avenue. I'm here on behalf of Mapleton Township as the Mapleton Township Board Supervisor. The reason we didn't ask for a additional condition back in 19 is I missed the meeting. I couldn't figure out how I missed that, because those of you that have been here a while know that I'm usually here when it's something in my township. So my wife reminded me that I was in the hospital with a compound leg fracture. So anyway, I'm here tonight trying to ask for an amendment because location of this operation is perfect. It's on a hard surface road. It's unless you're a neighbor to it, it's probably not perfect, but What happens is perhaps in the spring and all year long, people will, the tree processors, the people that are out cutting trees and bringing the trees over to the grinding site will come up Highway 115 or Cliff Avenue, and they'll go down 84th as a straight shot right to the grinding operation. Instead of going up to 258, going over and coming back a mile, they'll just cut across there. So over the years, we've had numerous complaints about the additional traffic on there. So we blade it, we gravel it, we mag water it, and we continue to do the best we can with what we have. What I would ask is, can we have a condition? Can we get some help for road maintenance? We would add additional magnesium chloride onto that road to keep the dust down. If we could get some additional help, we would allocate that specifically for that road for that use. I completely understand that he's not going to be able to control the people that are bringing products to him because he has no control over that. But because he's there is why it's happening. So we have several conditional use permits out there. Renter Equipment, Corky Jackson, he does it with us. Falls Tree Service, they help us out. Crook's Gun Club, Tyler Childress, Laurel Ridge used to till that went to a county road. Down south, Strawbell Winery used to have a permit with us until he closed that. So we know that these businesses are going to be out there. We know that this is a very necessary business as well. We use it as a township. We haul our stuff over there. It is an eyesore. I do get a lot of phone calls. I refer them to planning and zoning. The trees that are missing are bad enough, but the trees that are there aren't large enough. If you've ever driven by it, it's a sight. If you're raising varmints, it's a great place to do that. Skunks, raccoons, and you name it, they're going to be there because there's a lot of stuff there. And I think they're getting it worked down a little bit. I believe it said in the conditions that they were behind, and I believe that they were for a while, but maybe it's going to get better. But it is what it is, and because that's the type of business that it is. We understand that. But I'm here asking can there be a flat rate? Can there be anything there that could help us out to maybe keep ahead? A lot of those trucks, you'll see from anywhere from side dumps, you'll see them most time hauling gravel, but a lot of them will be hauling large trees. And then you'll see the guys with the large single axle trucks, tall sides. A lot of them are they're hard on the road too because more than likely they're overweight. So in the spring, when Gin Sweep Highway and 258 will have a road posting, the state highway, you can run it. You can run the state highway up to 84th, and then 84th to Township Road, it won't be posted, and they'll just slip right in there on 84th. And that's the worst time of year to have them guys out there. So in the spring, it's a tough time for us. We're dealing with frost boils coming out, and then we're dealing with the additional heavy truck traffic in and out of that facility. And a lot of that work takes place in the spring as soon as those people are able to get out there and get to work. It's been a long winter, so they get out there and get going as quick as they can. So we get that. I didn't want to. I thought, well, it's a commercial business. Maybe, maybe the tax difference here, maybe we just take a look at this and let this go and be happy with it. So I looked at the property, and the property is A1 Ag. I'm like, I asked Kevin, I said, how is that zoned A1 Ag when it's a commercial business? Kevin said, well, you need to call equalization. So I asked Chris Lila, I said, Chris, how does this happen? I said, we have a large commercial operation out here in our township, and it's A1A. Well, he said, all the land has to be zoned the same. So he's got, I think they've got 156 acres there, all zoned A1 Ag, even though there's a large commercial operation going on in the corner. I think what you might want to look at in the future is anybody that's going out there, and that opens the door for a lot of people to do a lot of different things with a lot of different, you could go out there and lease some A1 Ag land, run your business off it, and not pay commercial tax. And that's what's going on. So I know you guys aren't in charge of that, but it's something I think we could talk to people about and find out. Is there something? Maybe we should be replotting that or temporarily plotting that, those acres that he's using, so at least we can generate some return tax revenue, not only for the township, but also for the county and the school systems and everybody else, so. Anyway, that's kind of all I have. Do you have some questions for me?
Go ahead, Cindy.
You mentioned that you have worked with other people and had some kind of agreement. So what have you used for a flat rate, or what have you used?
Don't
And
have
have
any-
you
we
talked to the petitioner at all about that?
The most recent one is renter equipment on Kiwanis. He's got some storage, he's got a storage area north of 258, and Corky pays 1/3 of our megwater cost on that mile. And he agreed to do that, he's very good to work with. Crooks Gun Club pays for all the magwater. Falls Tree Service pays for all the magwater up to a certain point on 70th Street. Laurel Ridge, he used to pay for all the magwater on the gravel from the end of the asphalt to his property. So down south, he used to pay for all the magwater in front of Strawbell Winery. So
Have you talked to the petitioner at all?
we have not.
Okay. Anyone else?
Madam Chair, can I just,
Go ahead, Adam.
have you thought about maybe just putting a weight limit sign on in the spring or anything like that, or not?
Yeah, Adam, that's, we have that on an asphalt half mile and we can't get anybody to enforce it. We thought about no trucks. It's a public roadway, so you can't tell people who can and who cannot drive it. We wanted to adjust the speed limit, and you can't adjust the speed limit. It's 55 miles an hour. Even with dust and safety, it's our responsibility to keep it safe, not to lower the speed limit. So lowering the speed limit was not an option either, so.
Okay, anyone else?
No trucks, no construction trucks. We could put a sign like, no construction trucks, but these guys are, they're not construction. They're commercial. They're in the commercial tree business, so, not opposed to the site, not opposed to having that stuff out there. Like I say, it's in the right place. It just so happens to line up exactly with 84th. So it's convenient. I understand. I know why they do it, and I get it. Just trying to look for some help, maybe a flat rate, a couple grand, something to go. $3,000 doesn't go very far toward magwater, not nowadays, but anything would help. So just here for consideration.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the audience care to address this item? Please state your name and address, sir.
Mark Renner, 25851 476th Avenue, Sioux Falls. My wife and I are property owners to the west of this property, and we have taken items to Val's site as well. He's a very nice man, and we appreciate him. We do have some concerns, though, about the road in particular. Some of these heavy trucks have been known to travel at very high speeds, sometimes up to 50, 55 miles an hour. It's caused some near misses for accidents since we have property along that whole mile road, except for the neighbor to the south who has a small stretch not under our ownership. And we also have a concern about nails that have been on the road, which we think are probably coming from the pallet haulers. We've had multiple flat tires, a lot more than in years past, and we've seen nails on the road. I've talked to the township maintainer operator, and he has mentioned that there's a device that apparently could be used to try to magnetize and pull those nails off the road. But in any event, these are just some concerns that we have as a property owner, and if at all possible, we would like to see a speed limit sign on that road just for the safety of all that are on the road. I know that's not really the purpose of this meeting, but those are the main concerns that my wife and I have now. The other issues that have been raised by the board here, I think, are appropriate, and we support those recommendations. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else from the audience care to address this item? Okay, I'm going to close the floor. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, if I may. Sorry, Cindy, go ahead.
I have a question before you make a motion. If
No, I
that's
have a question as well.
You go with your question, I'll go second.
This question, I guess, more for staff. In any of the previous conditional use permits that were referenced tonight with the agreement on Magwater, was that a condition that we enforced, or that was an agreement that the parties arrived at their own?
So with conditions that require, like Magwater is typically written in a form that we require a haul road agreement or a road maintenance agreement with the township. And then the township basically, they work it out between them, and what it is between those two. And we get the township will tell us that, yes, they have an agreement, or give us a copy of the agreement. But it would be between those two.
Okay, thank you.
Cindy, do you have a question?
My question is for Mr. Willitson.
Yes, Commissioner.
It's on the same latitude as my colleagues here is would you be willing to work with the county and come up with a haul agreement? I was thinking that could do it without a condition, but maybe that's the best way to go, is to put a condition that there has to be some type of agreement on the
I
mag.
think he would. Would there, and I don't know this, would there be a possibility to put up a no truck sign on that gravel? Again, Val's trucks don't use that. I mean, he comes out of there, turns left, and goes to the interstate. And that's his haul route. What he can't control is
No, but
Bringing the
the
stuff
mag
to it.
citrate may help, and that may be something that could help the neighborhood. So I'm just wondering if you're amenable to us adding in there so that you will have a conversation with them to figure this out.
we could do that.
Okay.
We could do that. I don't know if a no truck sign is even possible.
I don't know either.
I know the sheriff obviously patrols the paved road. I don't know if they ever sit on the gravel or not. He said someone could enforce it. That's like, I think there's only one entity that can enforce it, and that's the sheriff. Am I correct about that? I mean, no one else can do it.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe we need a little help there, but no, I think Val would be interested in working with them. Like I said, he doesn't use it, but if that helps, obviously he wants to keep this operation going, and I think this is a pretty valuable operation, the three of them, for a way to dispose of this kind of waste instead of burying it in the landfill.
Anyone else have any questions for him? Thank
Cutting
you.
down a lot of ash trees.
Okay, commissioners, anything?
I guess, Madam Chair, if I may, I think everyone here agrees tonight that this really is a great service that exists out here and is a needed service. I think there's a couple conditions here that are nice. The condition 5 with the only clean, untreated wood can be accepted, and then 6 is kind of giving them the option if they want to work with the DANR to accept some of that treated wood. It gives them that option as well. The one thing I guess I would like to see added is a condition 11 that the petitioner work with the township on a haul road agreement. And with that 11th condition, I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes on the county side.
City Commissioners, we have an approved motion with the conditions as stated. On the county side, could I get a motion to approve on the city side?
I'll make a motion to approve with the hall condition as well.
Very good. Can I get a second? We got a motion, a second. Further discussion tonight, City Commissioners? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, say no. That is passed from the city side.
Thank you. Any old business?
No.
Any new business?
Nope.
You entertain a motion to adjourn on the county side.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes on the county side.
Can I get a motion to adjourn on the city side?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second. All those in favor of adjournment, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, say no. Adjourned on the city side.